Hi everybody, and welcome to a new game called Birthdays the Beginning. Now, when I first heard about this game, I didn't really know anything about it. All I knew was the name, and the name made me not really interested in it. It wasn't until I saw someone else playing it that I decided it is a fantastic game. This was actually developed by the original creator of Harvest Moon from back in the days of the Super Nintendo, which I practically grew up with those games. So yeah, I'm going to play this. I've already played through a little bit. I kind of know what I'm doing for the most part. I enjoy it. I am going to be starting a new game. I will be going through the main storyline, and then afterwards I might do free mode. But I'm going to go through everything. I'm going to take it slow. The first time I went through, I did everything kind of as quickly as possible, which, you skip out a lot of stuff if you do that. So we're going to go ahead and start a new game. And I'm going to read everything. So, one day, a day like any other day, I was reading a book when an old scrap of paper fell out. It looked like a small map. Specifically, a map of this area, and in the forest, a spot had been marked. Maybe it's a treasure map. A childish notion, I know. I had no way of knowing if the map was real or not, but it didn't seem too far away, so away I went. Pockets of sunlight seep through the dense canopy of trees, dimly shining my way as I walk through the dark forest. And right when I thought, I think this is the spot, a beam of light appeared before me. At that moment, I wanted to run, but my feet wouldn't budge. So there I stood, and then, as if beckoning me, the light began to move. And my feet responded in kind. I felt like a puppet. There was nothing I could do. I eventually arrived at the entrance to a cave. The light continued into the cave, and my feet continued after it. Shortly after, I lost consciousness. When I woke up, there was a giant cube before me. Next to it, a smaller cube-like object, and a creature I had never seen before. And with that, the strangest incident of my life had begun. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to read all of the in-game stuff, because a lot of this is just kind of tutorial. Also, since they're going to be going with the scientific names for a lot of things, it is rather hard to pronounce some of those. I am proud of myself for being able to say some of them, but there's others that I have no idea how to pronounce. So maybe I'll try and just go ahead and butcher those. I'll probably give them nicknames for the most part, or I'll call them whatever I think they are. Anyways, this game is kind of a Earth simulation. This is pretty much our planet. Well, I guess more of a plot of land. And we're going to kind of sculpt the landscape and create the right conditions for evolution. So we can build mountains, canyons, rivers, oceans, all of that. And we will see how it affects everything. So, let's go ahead and start. Navi is this little cube thing right here. And this right here, the guy in the red pajamas that has a cape, that's going to be us. This is our avatar. Anyways, welcome to this unknown world. I don't have a name myself, but if you want, you can call me Navi. That red guy is your avatar. You can give it any name you want. And of course we're going to go with Nidhogger. And yes, that is okay. For a long time, my job has been to birth life on worlds such as this one. But lately, things haven't gone right. I know everything about this world, but I can't do anything on my own. So, I called upon you. I'm sure you don't understand, but trust me, you're a chosen one. You seem confused. I just need help, that's all. I'm sure you won't let me down. If life can be birthed on this world, I can finally complete my task. And then, you can return to your world. Together, we can move forward. It's our only option. First things first, you need to know the rules of this world. Now, let's begin. So, effectively, the cube thing kidnapped us. Do you see that red square? That's the cursor. It can highlight various things. When raising and lowering terrain, the cursor will be the center point. You can also specify an area to use items. Let's try moving first. Use the left stick to move the cursor wherever you like. Now, this is the only problem I do have with the game. This game works great with a controller. With a mouse and keyboard, the controls are a bit awkward. There's supposed to be a patch coming up that will make it so you can rebind all the keys, but right now I have to go constantly back and forth from using the mouse to pretty much both hands on the keyboard in some rather awkward positions, because it's not real friendly. So let's try moving first. Yeah. So we're just gonna... Oop, didn't mean to do that. If you hold C at the same time, you'll move in faster. Okay. You can also use X to change your point of view. Hold down X and move the right stick to zoom in and out. See, there is no right stick, so I have no idea. You'll see that the small map at the top right, that's the mini-map right up here. There's a location highlighted in red on the mini-map. Why don't you head over there? Okay, so here's just our regular speed at moving. It's rather slow. Whenever I hold C, we move rather fast. That we just need to go up over here. And the map is rather small right now. It does get larger later on. Alright, everything seems okay. While we're at it, I'll explain the minimap. The minimap displays a bird's eye view of the entire cube. The red dot represents your location. The distribution of life and the condition of the land is also displayed. I was talking about right down here. This is how much of the actual world is dry land, and this is how much is going to be like oceans, rivers, all of that, so all of the water. Down here, it explains the height of the cursor, because whenever you make a mountain, of course, you're going to be going up in the terrain levels. This is the temperature right here. Everything is in centigrade. There's no way to convert it over to Fahrenheit. 55 degrees is, I want to say it's around 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Now this is the water temperature. Well, there is no water right here, so it's, I like how it says it's freezing. And this is the moisture in the air. And there is no water anywhere. We're basically on a moon right now. So zero moisture. Not good. This is not conditions that you'd want to live in. It might look drab now, but it'll get more lively if you do well. The direction that the red dot is pointing represents the direction you're facing. Talking about right up here. Next, we should move the terrain. You're probably wondering why. Well, it's a key part of birthing life in this world. Okay, and this is one of those parts that it says press period and comma, but the amount of keys that can actually do this is kind of ridiculous. Q and E rise them, or lower them. Comma and period rise or lower. Right click and left click also rise or lower the terrain. And I'm not doing this, this is just the tutorial. When you press comma comma, the area selected by the cursor will lower. You can also do something like this. And now we have a mountain. By raising and lowering the terrain, you can influence this world's environment. Basically, raising the land will decrease its temperature, and lowering the land will increase it. This change in temperature will be displayed on the minimap. And that's talking about Reddit right here. So right now, if we were able to start playing right now, the temperature would quickly lower down to 20 degrees centigrade, which is about... This is about the temperature I like to be in. This is about 68 degrees. I think that's perfect. However, temperature fluctuations are affected by other variables besides terrain elevation. By raising and lowering terrain, you shape the environment. In doing so, new life will be born that is suited for various environments. When a life form thrives and its population increases, you can birth new types of life. Repeating this cycle will allow you to birth various life forms. Now, let's try raising and lowering the terrain. Press buttons, make changes. Also, you can use the left stick to move while you are raising and lowering the terrain. Doesn't really translate over very well to the computer. Can be done, it's just kind of sloppy. Alright, so let's make a couple changes. I think we need to make enough changes to run out of HP. And I already know what's going to be happening, so there's some changes I want to go ahead and start with. Because we're going to want an ocean probably right around here. Oop. And then I pushed the wrong button right off the bat. And yes, I am only able to do one block at a time right now, but later on, the amount that you can affect all at once becomes much, much larger. The other thing is about this, if you could start out with the larger one, it would make creative mode, or sandbox mode, a lot easier. I got 2 left. What kind of... There, that's it. Looks like you've run out of HP. You can heal lost HP in macro mode, but I'll heal you just this once. There are other ways you can control the land. One way is by using items. You see that yellow dot on the minimap? That represents an item. Head over there and obtain the valley source. You just need to go near it. I'll show you how to use it. I'm just gonna come over here and got it. Good job. This item will dig a big hole in the ground. Press K to open the item menu, and press J to use it. Use the valley source and move the terrain. This may be a bother, but I'd like to put 2 of those 3 in a specific location. The locations are marked red on the minimap. You can put the last one wherever you want. Okay, so one has to go pretty much right here. There we go. Then the other one has to go right over here. I want it like dead in the center, doesn't it? Oops. Or it wants me to select it. I wonder if I can actually... It's close enough to the right spot. There we go. Alright, and then the one that I want... I think I wanted about right here. What do you think? Useful, huh? There are lots of useful items, but right now I have something more important to tell you. So I have to tell you about the sea. It's the birthplace of all life. You can create water using the primordial drop. This is how it all starts. By using the primordial drop in the hole that you made with the valley source. Okay. And helps if I hit the right buttons. And we now have the ocean. Not really an ocean, I guess it's a sea. It's water. Congratulations. This is the first of what I hope will be many birthdays. In this world, this large pool of water that you created is called a sea. On the cursor status to the right, you can see that the height is in the negatives. Everything in the negatives is the sea. That's a rule of this world. It's almost time for life to be born. Ha! If only things were that simple. But waiting around is pretty boring, so let's use an item to speed this up. Ta-da! The broth of life. This amazing item creates organisms without fail. But you have to use it in the sea. After all, that's the birthplace of all life. Alright, so just gotta select it, the broth of life, and use. Now, all we have to do is wait for life to be born. But right now, time is frozen. If time flowed normally while you tried to work, ooh, sorry, things could turn bad real quick. So here's another important rule. Time only passes by when you watch the world unfold from a distance. So, try pressing I. And now we're in micro mode. Now you can watch the world from a distance. You can adjust the distance with the right stick. This is called macro mode, and it's very important. It's how you unfreeze time. I had them backwards earlier. When time passes, the cube's environment will change with each passing moment. And when the cube's environment has fulfilled a condition, life will be born into this world. Let time pass and watch what happens. Press X to unfreeze time. Go ahead, try it. And there go the years. Another happy birthday! Congratulations! It's phytoplankton. This is said to be the original life form. Life news is displayed on the right. You can see new displayed next to the phytoplankton. I don't see new. Maybe it's because I've played before. I don't know. Anyways, this is how you'll find out when new life forms are born. Make sure you don't miss a single birthday. The cube status below will show you information about this world. Oh, now it's going to explain that. Temperature fluctuations, flora and fauna status, terrain proportion, stuff like that. Oh yeah, I need to show you the mechanics of birthing life. Temperature is the most important factor for life to be born. This is so true in this game. This is the #1 thing that you have to keep an eye on. Generational and geographical change matters too, but the most important by far is temperature. Now, the ratio of sea to land determines the temperature. The more land there is, the lower the temperature, and the more sea there is, the higher the temperature. Elevation is also a factor. Higher elevations make lower temperatures and vice versa. If you remember that while you shape the terrain, various life forms will be born. I mentioned before how you can progress time, but I'll tell you something a little more useful. At the bottom of the screen, you can change the speed at which time progresses. X will start and stop time. C will fast forward and stop time. Starting time will heal your HP, while fast forwarding will consume it. Now, let's try fast forwarding time. Press C. And the years are going by quite quickly. A new species has been born. That makes 3 birthdays now. Expect to see a lot more. As a reward, I'll heal your HP. Now, what was born was zooplankton, the first multicellular organism. It eats phytoplankton to survive. This is the first link in the food chain. See, I'm doing alright on pronouncing them so far. Just when it gets to dinosaurs does it get actually crazy. Let me explain a little more about life forms. Sometimes the environment can no longer support certain species when they begin to increase in number. When that happens, the species will adapt to the environment and, through evolution, a new species will be born. Sometimes one species will appear because another has gone extinct. Life sure is mysterious, isn't it? After the 3rd life form is born, you can continue on. You can zoom in and change the terrain and do all kinds of stuff. Then just go to macro mode and let time unfold again. If you're ever not sure what to do, press M for a hint. Use it whenever the need arises. M kind of just gives you kind of cheats. I did it just now. Make zooplankton multiply to birth stromatolite. Phytoplankton release a lot of oxygen that zooplankton need. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and head back down because there are some changes I want to make. I don't quite want it to be 35 degrees Celsius yet. We want it to get a little bit warmer, just for a little bit. Let me find better keys to use because the mouse is going to be nearly impossible to use. Do a little bit more down. This chiming sound will kind of get on our nerves, I'm afraid. Okay, a little bit more. Bring this down a little bit. I want it to look a little bit more natural than it does, because it doesn't look natural at all right now. I mean, it never will look really natural, but all the geometric shapes kind of bother me just a little bit. Oh, and I'm out of power right now. Didn't get very far. Okay, let's progress some time. And my HP is recovering. Time is passing. We're 50,000 years in already. I'm gonna let it go just a little bit. And the phytoplankton are multiplying slowly. We got over 400,000. Zooplankton, they're not really doing so well. Just stuck right at under 9,000. I think this number explodes quite quickly, though. Yeah, I think we're just gonna fast forward time. There we go, stromatolites. Wow, another species was born. Another birthday to celebrate. This is stromatolite, a rock-like organism made of algae that lives in high-temperature shallows. Why was stromatolite born, you ask? Because the location met the conditions for life. Therefore, it was born. That means you can expect them to thrive in these conditions too. Locations factors all sort of variables, such as temperature, height, terrain, and more. You might want to zoom in and look for hints. Now you know the 3 important factors to birthing life: temperature, life form proximity or prosperity extinction, and location. These 3 factors have a deep connection to the birth of this world. When life is born, other life might go extinct. Life forms that cannot adapt will die off. Life forms that are in danger of going extinct will have an exclamation mark in life news. These explanations are getting lengthy, but please bear with me. Press I to enter the world. Yes, the tutorial does take quite a bit of time. Yes, this screen is micro mode. Macro and micro may seem similar, but don't mix them up. I heard you did earlier. Now, we've talked about the minimap before. The minimap will display the position of all organisms in this world. Items appear as yellow, but animals and plants are displayed as colored dots. Try looking for stromatolite that was just born. It is displayed as a pink dot. New life forms will be recorded in your library. This act is known as capturing, because Pokemon. If you approach an organism you haven't captured yet, a pink triangle will appear. Click the touchpad button to capture the life form and add it to your library. But I don't have a touchpad button. This information can be viewed at any time. Organism info will be displayed in the window. Now give it a try. There we go. And he's been captured. An algae native to very hot shallows. Utilizes photosynthesis to convert carbon dioxide into oxygen. And this is all the stats. It's very fertile, so it will reproduce very fast. It is very adaptable. The adaptation temperature is -2 degrees Celsius, which I don't think it can actually get that low. I think 0 is the absolute lowest it can get. And the highest is 68 degrees, which is, I believe, over 150 degrees Fahrenheit. It does live in the shallows, and this is its current population, 360. And we've leveled up. I think my cursor is now bigger. Yes. Congratulations on leveling up. There's one other benefit to capturing. It's how you obtain experience. Experience is used to power up your avatar. The more you capture, the more experience you gain to level up your avatar. You'll gain more HP for creating terrain, and you can adjust the size of the cursor too. Use the left and right directional buttons to adjust the cursor size, or the mouse wheel. When life is born, find it and capture it. This process is very important. That's right, there's a view mode that has a different point of view than micro mode. It's useful for getting a wide view of the surrounding area, and it has another more useful function too. In view mode, the minimap displays organisms that haven't been captured yet. You'll find out why that's convenient soon enough. The controls in view mode are simple. Use the left stick to move and use the right stick to look around. You can also use the directional buttons to move. Movement varies between left stick, directional buttons, whatever you use suits you best. Yeah. In view mode, you cannot raise or lower terrain. Kind of wish you could. However, you can ascend with period and descend with comma. That's all I have to say for now. Now go ahead and give it a try. Press V to switch between micro and view mode. And it's basically just first person mode. That's all. And you can use C to go quickly as well. Our world is very small right now. And I'm done with that. How was it? Oh, you're sad because nothing is there. Like I said, this world is pretty much in your hands. Now let's return to macro mode. Do you understand how this world works now? Before you move on, there's one more thing I'd like to teach you. If you press in, you can change the control settings, adjust the volume, and save your data. Extinction is usually a natural part of life. But if you have saved data... Huh? What am I talking about? Well, never mind. Let's just move on. To birth a new species, you need more stromatolites. If zooplankton is present, that means there are shallows. If you center flat terrain on the stromatolites, it will be easier for them to flourish. They have an easier time increasing in wide areas. This is true for all organisms, so make sure you remember that. Now try widening the shallows. Your goal is 1,000. Alright, now they spawn down here. And they actually spawn kind of deep as well. Alright, so we're gonna bring this down. We're gonna bring that down. And that. And we're still counting as shallows. Do that. Actually, I want a lot of water, I think. Which does mean that it's going to warm up the world, but I don't mind right now. I'm not living there. Okay, so that one will probably be happy. And I did kind of want to finish... because it's bothering me. I want it to look at least a little bit different. I've got a pyramid sitting here. Just want some rough terrain. Yeah, we'll sink some of it down. Oh, I wasn't meaning to have more water, but yeah, sure, why not? Now. Alright, did a little bit of shaping. It'll stop bothering me. Actually, I want that to come up just a little bit. There is something that's going to happen soon, and I'm just going to go ahead and get ready for it now. Oh, I'm out of energy. Okay, I guess I'll have to do it later. Zoom back out, start time going. Sorry, my voice keeps cracking. I was getting over a cold last week, so it might just be something to do with that. And I didn't really see what we got other than something over here. I guess it was another stromatolite spawning over here. Congratulations, nice job. Here's a small present. It's called a Seed of Life. The next step is to birth a new organism. If you use a Seed of Life, an organism suited to that location will be born. Use this item to create the new organism, Cyclomedusa. Cyclomedusa are basically ancestral jellyfish. They live in high temperature seas and float along the water's surface, eating plankton. Approach the stromatolites and use the Seed of Life. But what if I don't want to? Alright, I guess. Now go back to macro mode and let time unfold. That should spawn pretty quick. I thought it was going to spawn pretty quick. Got more stromatolites. about to hit 100,000 years. I guess I'm gonna fast forward some. Oh, nope, there they are, right there. Cyclomedusa. Everything's going smoothly. Here, a seed of evolution. This item induces evolution in organisms. By using it on a life form, you can turn it into its evolved form. Use the seed of evolution to make Calunia out of stromatolite. Calunia is a seaweed from the... what is that? Proterozoic? Proterozoic era? Sure. Prozoic. We're just going to call it that. First, enter micro mode and find a stromatolite. Once you find a stromatolite, put your cursor over it and use the seed of evolution. Actually, even if you don't use the seed, Calunia will appear under the right conditions. If you can birth an organism without using items, something good might happen later. Anyway, once you birth a Calunia, you can move on. Well, I'm just gonna pass time. No, I guess I'm gonna pass time quickly. There we go. Happy birthday! Calunia was born. Good job! Here are 3 seeds of evolution. There's a limit to the number of items you can hold, so use them carefully. Next, I want you to birth an Elrathia. Do you know what a trilobite is? Elrathia is an ancient trilobite. It's an arthropod that swims and scuttles along the ocean floor. The conditions for birth are as follows. Shallows of roughly 48 degrees Celsius and a minimum of 4,500 Cyclomedusa. I just realized earlier I called Celsius centigrade. I was wrong. I might be really bad at science. You can easily birth a species using an item, but it might be better to shape the terrain. Yeah, that's what I've been doing, but you keep interrupting me. Which we're going to go back to doing now. Let's see, what else do I want? I want to do something like this. Not that. You might be able to guess what I'm doing. Maybe. Except for the fact that I did it wrong. Yeah, I need to fix it. I might have given away what it was by doing that. Alright, yeah, that's good enough. I feel like I might be spending too much time shaping terrain. But it's kind of what I enjoy doing. Okay, I think I'm happy with this again, so let's... Actually, no, I'm not. Let's go mess with this some more. There we go. Okay, I'm happy again. For the time being, at least. And pass some time. Pass some time quickly, I guess. And everything's being birthed everywhere. Except on land. There we go, Elrathia. Happy birthday, Elrathia was born. Great, it looks like you're getting the hang of this. You finally made it this far. Now it's time to move from water to dry land. You must birth the first organism to move to land. Oh, that's a... let's see... Baragwanathia? Baragwanathia. Sure. It's almost time. If this goes well, you'll be able to return to your world. This is a type of fern that breeds on land. Traveling far from its birthplace, it's the first life form that migrated to land. Lowland of 41 degrees Celsius, minimum 6,000 colonia, and moisture 15%. These are the conditions for birth. Here are 3 small recovery leaves. Just a token of my appreciation. Now let's begin. Okay, so there was something I didn't need to do that I haven't been doing. Gathering things, and then I need to go around and capture. And there's our colonia. I forgot to read that one. Right, and here is Cyclomedusa, primitive jellyfish that float through the very hot seas, consuming plankton. They can be found near stromatolites. And we level. So now I'm up to 400 HP. Now I think that was the only other thing that was... Nope, there's one more right there. Okay, Elrathia. A trilobite native to high-temperature shallows. It scuttles along the floor and lives among colonia. Alright, so now we can go back and quickly pass some time. Because I think the plant will just appear at some point. There it is! Finally you birthed a really long name. Just capture it and you're home free. Until then, you're free to do as you please. So just capture it whenever you're ready. So, this is goodbye then. What? Oh, nothing. Now go. Go on. I feel like that's a trap. But we'll capture it. A plant that grows on land. As colonia and Cyclomedusa proliferated throughout the sea, this species began to adapt to life on land. You did it! Mission complete! Our time together was brief, but I'm grateful to you. I couldn't have done this on my own. Now, go back to your world. Episode clear. We did good. We did real good. And it's not letting me go any further. There we go. Is this all a dream? No, it can't be. After all, I'm in a cave right now. I should hurry home, I thought as I followed the light. But when I stepped outside, I couldn't believe my eyes. The trees before me resembled thick ferns, and were clearly different from the trees I had walked by previously. What is going on? Have I been taken to another world? Perhaps I should take a look around. What? Back already? Kidding. You worked hard to birth a land plant, but I guess that wasn't enough. Since I can't do anything on my own, I guess you'll have to help me out some more. Prosperity is the goal now. You're going to make the land teem with life. You know about dinosaurs, right? They're famous organisms that roamed your world long ago. Your goal is to birth dinosaurs. If you get that far, I'm sure something will happen. This world, though, it's too small to birth dinosaurs. I've expanded it somewhat, so the ratio of land to water has changed significantly. That means the temperature has likely lowered, so expand the sea to adjust the temperature. Why so glum? Maybe you're not happy, but I sure am. To celebrate our reunion, select an item you want from the item menu and press I. Use the up and down buttons and press I to record up to 5 favorite items. You still seem glum. Here, take these. It's a small rain cloud and strong sunlight. Small rain clouds will increase the moisture in a selected area. Strong sunlight will decrease the moisture in a selected area. They're very useful items. You don't need them? Aw, come on, don't be that way. I guess you're still in a bad mood. You can have this river source then. It's also very useful. You can use river source on any flat land as long as it's 1 t tall and 3 by 3. Otherwise, it won't work. What'll happen, I wonder? Give it a try and find out. And this is why I did this over here. This terrain will be the starting point of a river, lowering neighboring land to connect it to water. By doing this, you can proceed to create a river. If you extend a river, you can obtain even more river sources. You see that green land surrounding the river? As the land around a river starts to soak, over time the land will turn green. This rule applies both to seas and rivers. It's one of the most basic rules of this world. Now let's start making a river. Lower the neighboring ground, just like I told you. But be aware that 2 rivers won't connect unless the adjacent land is the same height or lower. Also, if the land adjacent to a river is 0, lowering it will create sea, not a river. You can always undo things, so feel free to play around. Alright, we're gonna put this a little bit bigger. You're good at this, kid. A natural even. Even if there's a sharp decline by a river, you can lower it to connect the river. If you do it right, you can make a waterfall. Also, if you need to expand the cursor and lower the adjacent terrain, the entirety of the cursor will create a river. It's very convenient for when you're trying to expand a river. If you hold down X and move the terrain, it will become the same height as the terrain at the center of the cursor. This I didn't know. I didn't pay attention the first time. That I'm going to have to try and remember. This is very helpful for when you want to smooth out lumpy, uneven ground. Now, to progress from this point, there needs to be another birthday. I'm sure you've never heard of it before, but there's this thing called... Pikaia? I think it's Pikaia. There should be a hint in the game info. Okay, I don't care about that. Let me make my waterfall. Because that's what I want to do. There. Got my waterfall. And a lot of green land, too. Anyways, it wants me to do... I think it's in the library. There it is. Okay, so it needs a birth temperature of 41 to 51. Needs to be in the sea, not the shallows. Alright. We have that already. We have some sea, a decent amount. So really all I should need to do is just pass some time. I want to try out this bringing land up. Let's see. Let's get the cursor to be a little bit bigger. And hold X. Ah, yes. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Okay, yeah, that's actually really useful. Alright, I'm gonna modify the land a little bit more. And just a little bit more over here. Okay. We have a lot of land now, so it's going to take a while to use up all of this. Temperature's still coming down, though. It's going to be coming down to about 30 degrees. I need to make the ocean a little bit bigger. Well, it's not really an ocean, but, you know. Just expand it out a little bit more. Give it some kind of random edges. Oh, and we're out of juice. So back up. And pass time. Guess we can pass time quickly. Hey, it's Pikaia. Happy birthday! Pikaia was born. If you look in the game info, you'll see what you need to do from this point. You might have noticed that there are certain rules that regulate the birth of life. Though new life will be birthed naturally if you create the right environment, certain conditions must be met in order to create a significant change in an ecosystem. If you run into trouble, it's my job to help you out. Oh yeah, you might have noticed already, but it takes a while for the sea's temperature to change. If you change temperature by moving the ground in micro mode, the sea's temperature will gradually adjust accordingly. For now, your goal is to birth the sea organism Astraspis. Astraspis. Okay. Sure. Sounds good. I'm gonna pass time quickly. Things are growing and spreading. Astrozillion? Let's go see what that is. Because it spawned all the way out here. Oh, it's another plant. I hate that word, that underwent a mutation and migrated to plains where water is scarce. And I guess that's our... Yep, there's our Pikaia. At least I'm pretty sure that's our Pikaia. Yep, Pikaia. A cephalocordate that lives with Elrathia in very hot waters. And tree level. I don't think... Oh, the cursor did get much larger. That will help out tremendously. Alright, was there anything else that was born? I don't think so. Well, though I do want to go get these items. Forgot some of them are like way up in the air. Yep. Okay, so I need to go up. Got that one. Where's the other ones? There's one. The other two, they're actually underneath the ground. Oh, I'm in the wrong corner. No matter what you do, you actually cannot get to lava. I'm sorry. Alright, we can get out of this view mode. Alright, and the world's getting a little bit greener. A little bit. My awesome waterfall. Yeah. Zoom back out and pass some time quickly. Oh, I never went and found that, I don't think. Or no, I did. That was the plant. And some of the populations are going down, and we have something new that I have no idea what it is. Ooh, and other stuff. Oh, it's stuff that's on land. Looks like some sort of flower. A Rhynia plant native to warm temperatures. It evolved from Burragwanthia as it spread throughout various regions. And I think that was all we actually got. Yep. Of course, the vegetation's spreading really quickly. We are at almost the 1 hour mark. I originally thought I was going to do a 30-minute episode. We went well over that because the tutorial is very long. We're not even at the end of it yet. But I am going to cut it here, and I will probably start recording again immediately, and just so I have that one already done. I want the tutorial completely out of the way. So that's the end of this episode. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.